All good? Okay, guys, welcome. Hello, hello. Let's wait till everybody is here. Just 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, guys, let's start our webinar. So just at the beginning, some organizational aspects. This webinar is being recorded. Um, at the end, moderators will collect all questions asked during the webinar. You will receive answers to them at the end. And one point, all cases are real from our experience, but unfortunately, we can't say the names of the companies because of the strict NDA. Okay, hello everybody who joined us today. Welcome to our webinar, How to Implement Security Testing at Minimal Cost. Today, our goal is to help you strengthen the security of your projects without extra costs. We will show you real cases of security testing that we conducted specifically for this webinar. You will be able to gain specific, practically applicable strategies and approaches. Together, we will learn how to ensure maximum security without breaking the budget. Thank you for trusting us today. First of all, let's get acquainted a bit. You will see the section of comments, and I would like to ask you and to have an idea with whom will I spend next hour. Please vote in the comment section, choose the correct number, which position you take. For example, number 1, I work in QA and I'm interested in this topic. Number 2, I'm a CEO or founder of a company. Number 3, I'm a CTO, VP of engineering or engineering manager. Number 4, I am a software developer, or some other options. It's up to you. So just do it. Okay. Thank you very much. There are a lot of different people. Great. Perfect. Now, let me introduce myself. So, my name is Yuri. I am a lead QA engineer, ISTQB certified tester. Um, and of course, this topic is very interesting for me because currently security testing is on trends. And what is more, it is very important for every project, for every company. And let's say let's say a few words about the company I'm working in. Cherish DEV is a company that possesses state-of-the-art premium software QA services, which cover full cycle testing. The main our services are manual testing, test automation, and QA consulting and audit. We work according to outsourcing and outstaffing schemes. Let's move to the agenda of our webinar. Like I said, all cases are real, but without naming the projects. Uh, we will discuss 5 cases. First case is LinkedIn scaling platform. The second one, content creating app. Case number 3 will be platform which is based on ChatGPT. Case number 4, SMM platform. And the last one is a sales automation tool. Okay, before we get started, I would like also to know probably what challenges you have when conducting security testing. If they don't exist or you haven't done security testing yet, that's okay too. Select the appropriate option and like before, just put the number of this option in the comments. So what are the main problems you encounter when conducting security testing? The first one, for example, lack of qualified specialists. The second one, budget restrictions or time or difficulty in integrating with existing systems. It can be also volatility of security threats or no problems at all. That's also good. So just vote in the comments, we will see. Okay. Okay, great. Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys. Um, so, security testing, what can we say? We have compiled a checklist of basic checks that are recommended for each software. It consists of both, so personal data security checks and XSS attacks ones. After that, we found those who are interested in collaborating with us. And we carried out testing according to this checklist. We will show the results of these checks, potential vulnerabilities found in already functioning products, and possible consequences for business. Okay, how to implement security testing into your software development process. Let's say first step is utilize a checklist. We will provide you with a detailed security testing checklist that covers things like protecting user data, defending against different types of attacks, and other. The second one, step number 2, assign a tester. Assign people who will be responsible for performing the security checks. Step number 3, regular checks. Add these security checks to your regression testing suite. This is how you'll discover any new vulnerabilities that might rise with new code changes. Step number 4, integration with definition of done or definition of ready. This ensures that security is accounted for before a feature is considered complete. Step number 5, conducting training. Train your team on the importance of security testing and how to use the checklist effectively. And step number 6, regular updates. Often security vulnerabilities are discovered in various software components. Make sure you keep all your third-party libraries and software up to date. By following these steps, you can easily incorporate security into your project without significant costs. And now let's look at the checklist itself. As I said, we created a checklist and all the participants will get it after the webinar with the instructions. Moreover, all these checks can be performed both manually and with some tools, for example, some scanners. There we will share all the recommendations. Don't worry about it. Uh, I will tell you in more detail about the checks carried out, but I will not focus on the following points. For instance, temporary blocking if the limit of unsuccessful login attempts is exceeded, or the password contains special characters, numbers, letters, capital letters, and so on and so forth. Entering a password and any data is invisible, encrypted data, and should be visible only upon user request. When changing the password, the user can't log in with the old one. These checks are very important. They can't be missed. However, how to perform them is obvious even to those who don't work in testing. Let's look at more complex checks. Okay. If we speak about the password, we should say that the password is sent only in a request to receive an access token. Further work occurs only with the token. In order to carry out this check for GWT token, for instance, in the network tab of DevTools, enter your username and password on the login page and click the login button. Check the request sent. You will be able to see the details of the submitted request. Now look at the response section in the same request. The server response must contain your token. It might look something like this, you can see on the slide. This token will now be used to authenticate the user in subsequent requests. Try viewing a few other requests after logging in. In the network tab, select any of them and check the header section. You should see an authorization header, and its value usually starts with bearer followed by your token. If we speak about sensitive data shouldn't be included in the logs. Check network, console, backend if possible, of course. An example of checking this item might look something like this. Open developer tools, console tab, enter your credentials, and click login. Inspect the console for sensitive information such as username, password, or token shouldn't be displayed there. Now go to the network tab again, refresh the page, and look at the requests sent and the responses received. Check this data for sensitive information such as username, password, credit card information, and etc. If you have access to the server where the application is running, check the server logs. Sensitive information shouldn't be included in the logs. Coming back to the tokens, be sure that it's impossible to use an expired access token when logging in. Of course, you will need a special tool to check it, for example, gwt.io. Don't worry, we will share all the links after the webinar. Paste the token to decode it. Check the expiration time of the token. Wait for the token to expire, then try to use it to access your app's features. You should be refused, of course. Another topic about tokens. The token is deactivated after logout. Log in and copy the token from the HTTP response or where it is stored, usually local storage or browser cookies. Try to log out. Then try to make a request to the protected resource by pasting your token you copied earlier into the authorization header of your request. The server should reject this request because the token is no longer valid. Be sure that tokens are deleted after logout. Log in and check local storage or cookies for the token. Log out, check local storage or cookies again. The token should no longer exist. Let's switch to another topic, which is also very important and which is very relevant today. It's about captcha. Captcha should be available and you can check reCAPTCHA score by default, because most of the websites are using CAPTCHA nowadays, especially on the login pages. So go to the page where CAPTCHA is used. Usually it's the registration page or login page. Make sure the CAPTCHA is displayed and working correctly. You can try it several times. It's up to you. If you are using reCAPTCHA, lower your reCAPTCHA score below the normal level and verify whether requests are being blocked, or additional checks are triggered to confirm that you are not a robot. Another very important topic is about protocols. Personal data is entered only via the HTTPS protocol. The URL must start with HTTPS, not HTTP. HTTPS means the website uses a secure connection. The URL must start with. Most browsers display a padlock icon next to the URL. If you click on this icon, you can see the details of the site's security certificate. The certificate must be valid and issued by a reliable organization. Check if the site uses HTTPS for all its network requests. To do this, use the developer tools again in your browser. Go to the Network tab and look at the protocol used for each request. All requests must use the HTTPS protocol. You can also change the beginning of the site URL to HTTP. A reliable site should have a redirect back to HTTPS. If we speak about error messages which can appear, be sure that error messages don't give any information from the code or path. Look at this slide and try to see the difference. The error reporting system should be designed so as not to reveal sensitive information that could help attackers hack the system. For instance, you see the first message reveals the path and line number, which can be used by attackers. The second message is much safer since it doesn't reveal any sensitive information about the website's application structure. Okay, if we speak about the headers, this topic is also very important. Open developer tools and go to the Network tab again. Perform any action on the website. You will see a list of all requests that have been sent to the server. Select the HTML page request and look at its details on the right. Find the headers section and scroll down to the response headers section. These are the headers that the server sent along with the response to your request. Look at these headers and check for headers such as content security policy, strict transport security, frame options, content type options. Secure website must include at least them. Plus, of course, there are sites that can help you with the headings. If we speak about the source code, I will be short there. You should be sure that there is no access to the source code. Check if the source files in the source map are not visible to clients. Potential attackers can take advantage of this. Again, about the rights. So it's simple. Log in as a standard user and try to perform an action that is only available to an administrator. Of course, this action should be blocked. The limitation of requests from one IP address per second. Actually, it's a protection against DDoS attacks. You can use a special tool to generate a large number of requests to the server. For instance, Apache Gmeter. Just start generating queries. If your server is protected from DDoS attacks, it should start blocking requests or limiting the number of requests per one IP address. And one more important thing, which is quite complicated, but it's also very important. XSS attacks, be sure that they are checked. Uh, for this, you also need a special tool. Uh, just find a place in the web application where you can enter some text and which will then be displayed on the screen. For example, a common text box. Enter suspicious HTML tags or JavaScript code like the one above you see on the slide. Save and check. The ended code is not executed. Like I said in the beginning, for a more comprehensive check for XSS vulnerabilities, it's advisable to utilize specialized security scanners. Okay, guys, let's move to the cases. We learned how to conduct checks. Now let's look at the results of their execution. We will show you the tests that the products we interacted with failed. And we will tell you what these vulnerabilities can lead to. Let's move to the case number one. Coming back to our agenda, I said that case number one is LinkedIn scaling platform. On the screen, now you can see failed checks of the LinkedIn scaling company. Let's see what can happen if they are not corrected. So the first one, it's impossible to use an expired token when logging in. This check, as you see, is failed. If the system allows the use of an expired token, an attacker could gain access to sensitive user information or even control of the account. According to IBM, the average cost of a data breach in 2022 was approximately $4.5 billion. The second check, availability of capture and check-in recovery. This check also failed. The absence of capture makes it easier for attackers to use bots to automatically create accounts or perform other actions. This can overload the server and slow down the site for real users. This can reduce user satisfaction and lead to fewer conversions. Let's say a 20% decrease in site performance will lead to a 10% decrease in sales. If the average daily income is approximately $10,000, the loss would be 1,000 per day. The next check about security headers, which also failed. Lack of security headers increases the likelihood of attacks such as cross-site scripting or clickjacking. These attacks can lead to the theft of user data or the execution of unwanted actions on their behalf. If data leaks and attackers take actions that cause harm to users, the company may face lawsuits. The average cost of a lawsuit for damages from a data leak, according to IBM again, can reach approximately $1.5 billion. Limitation of requests from one IP address per second. This check also failed. Without limit for requests per second, attackers can carry out DDoS attacks that make the server unavailable to users. Service failure can lead to decreased sales and customers leaving for competitors. And checking for XSS attacks also failed. XSS attacks can lead to the theft of user data or user identification information. Let's move to the case number two. Case number two was about the content creating app. A content creating app failed 7 checks, which mean that it's vulnerable to security threats. Let's see the consequences. Unauthorized access to customer accounts can lead to theft of confidential data and legal action. If we speak about the passwords, this check you see on the slide also failed. A limited password structure makes it easier to guess and increases the risk of unauthorized access to user accounts. Sensitive data appeared in logs. If sensitive data ends up in system logs, this can also lead to data leakage. Error messages are not showing some information from the code or path. If the system gives away information that could be used by attackers, it can create additional security risks. And of course, no access to source code. Access to source code for attackers can lead to more serious threats, as they can examine the code for vulnerabilities and use them to attack the system. Let's switch to case number 3. Uh, for this case, I won't stop at these checks more precisely because we already discussed some of them. So you can just see them on the slide. This platform based on ChatGPT turned to be rather secure. It only failed 2 checks. But even this can create problems. So these potential vulnerabilities must be fixed. Case number 4. This is about SMM platform. As we see, this platform is weak in terms of security. But as a regular SMM platform, it works with social networks of users. So you can imagine that the losses can be just enormous. I won't stop here as well, more precisely, because some of the checks we already discussed with you. But you can see on this slide how many failures it has. And the last case, it's about sales automation tool. This sales automation tool failed 5 checks, which can become rather critical as these are the paths for frauds. Let's take a look at one check that we didn't discuss today, but nevertheless it's very important. It's about the impossibility to reuse token after logout. This check failed. If a product allows reusing a token after logout, it creates potential security risks, including unauthorized access, session hijacking, privacy violations, data breaches, and legal consequences due to the possibility of misuse of the token by malicious entities. Okay, guys, so we covered all the cases. You are now convinced of the importance of security testing, and the next stage is its implementation. But there are not always enough resources for this. After all, you need to hire a team of testers or train the existing staff. The solution to this issue is outsourcing. It's fast and affordable. Moreover, by outsourcing your security testing to professionals, you can save your money. Cherish DEV is ready to lend you a helping hand there. What we offer? Cherish DEV offers QA as a service. QA as a service is an approach that provides customers with the main QA tools and approaches. Adding to that, we can say that there is a strong QA engineers team, resource management, fast replacement and efficient use of resources, deep and extensive expertise, regular reports, and of course free QA manager. This is what QA as a service is. We offer QA subscription. QA subscription is our brand new service. We will provide you with the necessary set of services for a fixed monthly fee. This means that you will pay for a subscription and receive key QA services on a monthly basis, rather than paying for each individual project. The subscription includes regression testing, automation, and support for smoke testing, as well as adding new functionality to the regression scope depending on the chosen subscription plan. For whom it can be useful? Cooperation with Cherish DEV would be suitable for startups and small businesses, companies undergoing digital transformation, e-commerce and mobile app businesses, agencies and development firms, companies looking to reduce QA overhead. And as the result of our cooperation, you will get correction of critical errors and problems, improved user experience, streamlined testing processes, and reduced time to market, a high level of product quality that exceeds the expectations, continuous learning and skill development. deeper understanding of your product market and customer needs. So contact Cherish Dev to achieve these results. Moreover, right before the webinar, we checked the websites of our main competitors, and these large QA enterprises do not offer security testing. But with us, you can make your product secure. As a special offer for those attending the webinar, uh, we can provide free consultation, 3 days of free testing, detailed checklist for security testing. And do you still hesitate why to buy it now? Okay, I'll provide you with the reasons why you would buy it now. Perfected processes within the team. A perfectly matched team that is skilled in a variety of technologies. Testers passed ISTQB certification and a discount system for this month. Okay, guys, so we are close to the end. Thank you for your attention. And now there is a part of Q&A. I will just collect all the questions by our moderators and try to answer all of them. Not all of them. We'll choose the most interesting, but anyway, let's take a look. Okay. Okay. I see the first question. Actually, yeah, it's a very interesting question. Are these checks suitable for mobiles and web? Okay, so very good question. In fact, no, these checks are only for web. The thing is that mobile security testing has its own specifics. And if we discussed both web and mobile, it would take a lot of time. So this was only for web. Okay, the second one, is there a way to automate security testing? Actually, yes. As I mentioned, there are special platforms and scanners. And after the webinar, you'll get a checklist with them. But there are some tools that are not mentioned. For example, Nessus or Burp Suite. So it's up to you. Okay. What vulnerabilities are the most critical? I mean, how to prioritize? The thing is, everything is individual. And of course, it's depending on your project. But there is one piece of advice. Use code analyzers. So they rank the vulnerabilities found by criticality. So just minor, medium, high, critical, blockers and criticals, of course, they should be fixed first. How long did it take to conduct the checks for every software? Okay, let's say we had a team of 2-4 testers, so it usually took not more than a couple of hours. So as you see, initial security testing is not hard and doesn't take much time. You mentioned that teams must be trained to conduct the security testing. How to conduct these trainings? I can say that there are numerous trainings and certifications for security testing specialists. Some of the most popular ones include certified ethical hacker, or if I'm not mistaken, certified information system security professional, certified penetration tester. But of course, the easiest way is to hire an experienced tester and to make them a mentor for your team. And even here, Cherish Dev can help you, of course. Okay. are there any recommendations on how to prevent vulnerabilities from being released? Um, I would say that, uh, again, um, you should use code analyzers and vulnerability tools. After assembly, um, launch all the tools and check the reports. If everything is clean without leaks, your product can be released. Mm, and you can also not can you should also check the best practices to write a code and learn them. This can prevent leakage, and of course have trained specialists. So that's the answer. Okay, guys. So I think it's time to finish. Thank you for your questions. I hope I answered to them. So again, thank you for your attention. And like I said in the beginning, we've got a special present for all who attended this webinar. We will present you a detailed checklist for security testing. So thanks again, guys. Have a nice weekend. Take care and see you. Bye bye.